everyone, today I wanted to make a video with some ideas of ways that you can make money as an author other than selling your book because as we all know, royalties are not necessarily a huge amount of money. So it can be really helpful to have money coming into your business from other sources. Now, multiple streams of income are a good idea anyway. It's always good to maximise the different opportunities for making money. However, also in creative industries, things really ebb and flow. And so having some streams of income being able to make up for others as things change is really helpful, I think. So I've got 15 different ideas here for things that you could try. It might be that you already do some of these things, maybe you've tried them before, but hopefully there are some things in here that you hadn't thought of or you had forgotten. So hopefully there are lots of opportunities in here for you to be able to maximise the money that your business makes. Now, all of these go with the assumption that you have all of your books available in all the formats that you can, in all the marketplaces that you can, through all of the retailers that you possibly can, and advertised as well as you can so that you are maximising your sales through your books. But we're not talking about that today, so we're going to put that aside, assuming we're doing an excellent job of all of that, and we're going to talk about all of the other things that you could do. So in no particular order, the first one is freelance work. So depending on your skill set, there are lots of different freelance jobs that you could do. So you might want to do a freelance role as a writer. So perhaps you could write copy for another business. Maybe you could do ghostwriting. Perhaps you could write articles for magazines. There are lots of different kinds of writing that you could do if you feel comfortable with those particular styles. Alternatively, if you've got the experience and the qualifications, you might want to work as an editor. So perhaps you could do proofreading or copy editing or developmental editing. Maybe you could just do critiquing of other writers' work. I think for those kind of roles, a really good place to list yourself is Readsy. So you can put your information there as a writer or an illustrator or an editor or whatever it might be. And I think always make it clear on your website or your social media that you are available for those kind of freelance roles. There are other potential freelance roles that you could take. For me, I do some social media work, so I support other companies with their social media because it's something I feel comfortable with. Now, you could, again, list yourself as being available. I actually don't. Some of those I have got by knowing the people and they've asked me if I could do it. Others I have answered a job advert. So you could look out for job adverts. LinkedIn is a great place to look as well for that kind of thing. And so for me, I apply for the kind of social media support that I'm interested in. And I've got some of those roles and I haven't got some of the others. So it can literally be a case of answering a job advert. Another kind of work that you could do is being a virtual assistant, a VA. So if you feel you're really good at doing other businesses admin, that could again be something you could do. There are loads of resources out there for being a VA, and to be honest, that crosses over with the social media work. And all the resources I can find for all these suggestions I'll put in the description below. So as I say, make it clear that you're available if you want people to contact you for those roles or actively look for them. The second one is school visit. Sorry, my glasses are falling down and really conscious of not showing my hand because I've got a broken finger. So let's just say I've got a broken finger. Now if I show my hand, we all know this. Anyway, so the second one is school visits. So if you've written a children's book or middle grade fiction and you feel comfortable with going into schools, so reading your book, doing Q&A sessions, doing assemblies or going into class, maybe you do creative writing workshops or perhaps workshops on how to edit, or there are lots of different things you could do, and you could do things around the topic that your book is about. But if you're comfortable with being in a classroom and you've written books aimed at a younger audience, working in schools can be a great way to make money. You can charge for your day, and you should charge for your day or half day or hour or whatever it is of work. You can also do virtual visits. You can also sell books on top of that. So if you're new to it, you might want to do a free visit or two to find your feet, but after that you should charge for your time, and it can be a really great way to bring money into your business. I'll link below, there are some companies that you can sign up to. There is a fee, and they then have a searchable list of authors, so you can sign up to those if you like. Personally, I have my details on my website, and I also directly approach schools, email them, phone them, and tell them what I do. So that can be another really helpful way of finding school visits and kind of becoming known. When I do craft fairs and things like that, I have a leaflet that people can take. There are a lot of teachers out there, so they might take a leaflet about my author visits and then get in touch later when they need somebody. The key time that you're aiming at is World Book Day. So March will be a busy one, and you sort of try and book that period up in particular. But there are other times of the year when schools might be looking for authors. So if you're comfortable with that, as I say, it's a really great way to make money as an author. The third one is speaking engagements. So if you feel comfortable speaking in public, you could offer yourself as an after dinner speaker, or any kind of speaker. There are various ways that you could do this. Again, say on your website that it's something that you can do. Maybe give some examples. Personally, I did a speech for International Women's Day. This is a couple of years ago now. I was asked to do it for free. I wasn't paid for it. But sometimes doing that kind of thing when you're asked means that people see you, and they then see what your skills are, and you might be asked to do other speaking engagements. So sometimes taking opportunities can be good. You might want to get in touch with organisations such as the WI, the Women's Institute. They are often looking for speakers, particularly if your book is on a topic or is of a genre that might interest those groups. Or you can contact particular organisations. So maybe you've written about gardening, and you could contact the gardeners associations and say, I'm available to do talks to your group. So you can directly approach people, again, make it clear that you're available, and perhaps the speaking is going well. Maybe I shouldn't do public speaking. The speaking engagements might be a way that you can make money. And always think about what you charge. So when you're approached, to have that in your mind beforehand. The next one, number 4, is using your social media and monetizing it. So YouTube is a prime example. If you reach the thresholds that you need to in order to monetize, so 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 4,000 watch hours over a year, I believe. If you reach those criteria, you can then sign up to Google AdSense. Ads will run on your videos. You can choose when they run to an extent. And then you get ad revenue from those ads that are running on your videos. So you can do that maybe if you've got a blog or something like that, you can have ads running on your blog. If you have any kind of social media where you can have some kind of monetization, perhaps you've got a podcast and you can monetize that, then that's always really helpful. But on top of that, you could also do some paid ads. So potentially you could approach other people or look for opportunities for those paid ads and actually kind of actively be out there doing that. Or you can just sort of hope that by the scale of your platform, you will be approached for sponsorship deals. That doesn't happen. But basically you can maximize your different opportunities and take opportunities that are offered to you to monetize your various platforms if it's a platform that you are able to monetize, to do sponsorship that you feel comfortable with, to look for sponsorship and to take opportunities, and to use affiliate links, which is my next point, number 5. So affiliate links are where you get a link that if somebody else clicks on it, you get some money in return for them clicking on that link. So it might be that that's as part of sort of a sponsorship deal, as it were. So for instance, I made a video on this channel about a box of stories, and I had an affiliate link that they gave me that was in my description. And if somebody clicked on that, then I got a certain amount of money for that referral, effectively. So sometimes it can be something more kind of active like that. Or it might be that you happen to have codes for various different things and you choose to share them in your description. You can sign up to various different things as well. So if there's an opportunity to become a partner or an affiliate and have a code, why not? Always make it clear. So mine in the description are marked with an asterisk. So I'm an affiliate with bookshop.org. So if you buy a book from there via my link, then I get a little bit of money in return, which is wonderful. I had an affiliate link with a box of stories. I don't know if it's still valid. I'll put it below. You never know. I have a refer a friend link with SumUp. So if you wanted a SumUp card reader, then I think you get some money off. Sometimes there's a benefit to the customer as well, but then I get a little bit of money for referring as well. I'll put that below. You never know, you might need a card reader. So some of them are things you sign up for. You can become an Amazon affiliate. I got kicked out for not selling enough. I should do it again, but you could do that. Like I said, bookshop.org. There are lots of different things you can be an affiliate of, and link it in your description or in your blog post, share them on your Instagram stories. And if you're given a code for even things like HelloFresh or Gusto, or like you're a customer of something and you get a referral code, why not share it and make the most of it? As long as you're transparent about what you're doing, there's no problem with that, and it can be a great way to get some extra money. So there we are. You can use your affiliate links. You can put them on your social media in all the various different ways. Another thing you could do is put them in your books. I didn't in my self-publishing book. Some may say that that was a poor choice. I purposefully decided not to. But you absolutely could. Maybe your book is about a particular topic. You have an affiliate link for something. Why not? Why not share that? What you can even do is become an affiliate of, let's say, Amazon, and have your book links linking through that affiliate link, so you're making affiliate money on your own books. So there's lots of different things that you could do if you would like to. Have a look at the different opportunities, sign up to them and see how you get on. It's always worth a try. My next one, number 6, is Ko-fi, or is it pronounced coffee? I don't really know. I'll link it below. If you haven't come across it before, it's a platform that you can sign up for. You get you have a dashboard. You can share posts a little bit like social media. And essentially the point of it is that people can make one-off payments to you. So they buy you a coffee. It's £3. I don't know what it is in other countries. It might be $3 or I don't know. But in England it's £3. And that's paid via PayPal to me or to whoever you're supporting. You can buy multiples of coffee. So you could buy somebody 2 or 3 or 4, whatever coffees as a one-off payment. Now, as well as the ability to buy somebody a coffee, you can also kind of put content behind a wall whereby if they pay, then they have access to that. So you could say, if you buy me a coffee, you could get this colouring sheet or this access to these videos or whatever you want to put behind that wall. You can, if you would like. You can set goals on there. You can say, once I've had 1,000 coffees, then I can buy myself whatever this thing is for my business. Like you could say, fund my next book, or you could say, I need a new vlog camera, so that will be however much money. And then people can see themselves kind of contributing to that thing. So you could do that too if you would like. I am rubbish at updating my page on Ko-fi. I try to remember, but you can be really active on there. There's like a gold membership thing. There are a lot of opportunities. So if it suits you, you can probably do more with it than I do. I stick it in my description, and if somebody feels that what I've put out here is helpful, sometimes they buy me a coffee, and it's lovely. It makes me smile. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, it can just be another way that people can say thank you. So there we are. The next one on my list is PLR. Now, this is UK specific. I don't know if other countries have similar schemes, but if they do, great, look for them. See if other countries do the same kind of thing. Now, as I understand it, in the UK, there is a pot of money every year that is available to be distributed amongst the authors and illustrators of works that are borrowed in libraries. So PLR stands for Public Lending Right. And if your books are in libraries, you are entitled to some money for that lending of that book. It's not as simple as them having a record of every book that is lent out. They take a sample. So it's if your book is in that library or that group of libraries that they've taken a sample from, and it changes every year. But if your book is in libraries, it is definitely worth, or even available to libraries. You might not know what libraries have your book, then you can get PLR money. Of course, if you put yourself forward and contact libraries, relevant libraries, and say, would you like my book? You could donate it. You can even ask them to buy it. So then if they have your book, you may well be entitled to PLR. It doesn't cost anything. Just sign up to the account. And then every year they'll pay you royalties if you are entitled to them. If it's an illustrated book, that royalty share is 50-50, so your illustrator is entitled to collect their share as well. So yeah, definitely worth signing up and see if there's any money available from that source. In a similar vein, there is ALCS. I forget what it stands for. I will link it below. Essentially signing up for, is it ACLS? It's not ALCS. It's one of those. I should know this, and my handwriting is such that I can't tell the difference between my L and my C. I think it's ALCS. Anyway, what it is a company that collect the money that you are entitled to for your books or the articles you've written, the things you have contributed to, journals or whatever. And for instance, if your book is photocopied or anything like that, where it's like fair use and the person or company will have paid for the right to do that, to use your work in whatever setting, basically they collect that money for you, and then they send it on to you. Now there is a payment for signing up to it. However, you only pay that once they have found some money for you. It comes out of that first payment. Now what they're not doing is, let's say you write for a lovely indie magazine, they're not hounding that magazine for some money for you. What they're doing is collecting the payments that are made anyway, basically, and collecting your share and what you are entitled to. So have a look at their FAQs. It's all abundantly clear. Again, just sign up for an account. Why not? See if you're entitled to any money. Again, I think this is UK only. It actually tells you potentially when you initially put your details in, your name in, and search for works, whether there's any money there. But why not? Sign up, see if you're entitled to anything. Add your works as you go, and it might be a source of income for you. Who knows? Worth a go. Sorry if things have moved a little bit. My memory card was full and I've had to delete some videos, and I think I might have moved the camera, but anyway, I don't know if you can tell. The next thing on my list is courses. So perhaps you want to offer a course in writing, so perhaps the particular style of writing that you do, maybe in editing or formatting or publishing or marketing, or maybe something based on the topic that your book is about. So perhaps it's non-fiction and you can offer a course associated with that. You could even advertise the course in your book. That course could either be online or in person. So if you wanted to offer an online course, perhaps film some videos and make those available on a platform such as Skillshare. You could even get an affiliate link to Skillshare and then make some affiliate income by sending your audience through via your affiliate link, as well as earning money from the course itself. So you can do it that way. There are other platforms as well that you can offer online courses via, or you could put that course behind something like Patreon or Ko-fi even potentially. Or you could do an in-person course. So you can hire a venue, you know, get some refreshments and have a nice like PowerPoint going. You could do a whole day thing or a couple of hours, and you could run that in-person course. Maybe you could have booking via your website or via some other way, I don't know. You could have leaflets that you give out at events, and so yeah, you could have a real in-person event if you think that that's something that your audience or your local area might be interested in. So if you think courses are for you, you're good at putting across information, and you think that that would be something you would enjoy, then again, another way that you could potentially make money. The next thing on my list is to have a podcast. So you may or may not know that I have a podcast. That podcast for me is not currently monetized. It would be great if it was. There's obviously a link below to my podcast. It's called Indiness. If you'd like a listen, I think it's really good. You can monetize your podcast. So I use anchor.fm to publish, is that the right word, my podcast. And if you reach a certain threshold, then you can monetize. You can also have exclusive content. So I could do that right now, but I haven't, but I could. So you can, as we talked about with social media, monetize your content. Again, you could look for opportunities to run ads on your podcast, or you could give the details of affiliate links, but also podcasts offer a great opportunity for you to access maybe other people's audiences if you're doing interviews, and to talk about your own work so that people are motivated to buy your book. So it is a marketing tool as well, but we're talking really more about monetizing. So if podcasting is something that you're interested in, or you have a podcast, then you can look into the opportunities of monetizing that in a similar way to how you do with your social media. And you'll notice on this channel there is a playlist of the highlights of my podcast where I share just about 10 minutes of it. So hopefully people would like to then go and have a listen to the full episode. So yeah, you might like to try podcasting. Next on my list is merchandise. So perhaps your book could have a soft toy or plushie associated with it, particularly if it's a children's book. Maybe you could make t-shirts or enamel pins, or maybe you could have really beautiful bookmarks. I give mine away for free because I use them as business cards, but you could charge people for a really beautiful business card. Maybe you could sell prints or cards, or there are all sorts of things that you could make and sell along with your books. And you might find that somebody either buys the book because they bought the merchandise and enjoyed it, or they buy the merchandise because they love the book. So those things kind of feed into each other as well. But if you think that there is some merchandise that you feel comfortable with creating, you know how to create it, you have the rights to the artwork used, or if you use a logo creator, or maybe bear in mind that if you're using certain fonts and not hand lettering, you may need to you do need to ensure that you have you can use those commercially. So make sure you have the rights to use whatever you're using, but potentially you could create some merchandise and sell that too. Stickers is another great one. So lots of opportunities to sell something alongside your books. Even have like a package, so the book and the soft toy, and that's at a discounted price. Lots of opportunities and ideas there. The next one I wanted to talk about is Kickstarter. So I feel like this is a bit different to the others, but something worth bearing in mind. If you're considering a new project, so a new book or something else, I guess, think about funding it through Kickstarter or Indiegogo, because then you have that money up front via people effectively pre-buying the book or buying other things. So for instance, on my Kickstarter, people could pay for school visits, or they could get a package that included stickers and bookmarks and all sorts of bits. So have a think about what you could offer and pre-sell in order to have the money up front for your project. But definitely worth a look at as another way of bringing money into your company, because generally we have a book idea, we fund it ourselves, and then we hope that we make enough sales. But if you can pay for it being created in the first place, that obviously puts you in a better financial situation. I've got a couple of videos on Kickstarter, I'll link them below, as well as I've got one on author visits, and I think I've got one on craft fair type things as well. So I'll put those below in case those are helpful. Anything I think kind of ties in with this stuff, I'll link them below, but check those out if you want some more information on that. The next one on my list is Patreon. I guess kind of goes with Ko-fi that I talked about earlier. So with Patreon, you can create an account, create tiers, which you can call whatever you want. So it could be like bronze, silver and gold, or it could be, I don't know, Chihuahua, it's a medium-sized dog, Cockapoo and Great Dane, I don't know. Something relevant. You have your tiers, and within that tier you offer something. So the lowest tier could just be you write them a letter, or ideally you want things that aren't labour intensive, to be fair, or something that you can just send them that's already created. So maybe they get some colouring sheets, or maybe they get sent some stickers, or I don't know, something that you can send that's low effort, low cost. And then as you go up the tiers, you can offer more. Now, I had a Patreon for about 3 months and I found it stressful. It didn't work for me. It can be a great way of having a paywall for your courses, as I said earlier, but also a great way of making money from an audience that want to support you creatively and want more or want exclusive content from you. And like I said, ideally things that are, you know, don't take too much time, relatively low effort, relatively low expense, because you know, I'm sure you're already busy. Like, I already have too much to do, so you don't want it to become massively labour intensive. But for instance, you could have exclusive videos. I think on mine I had an exclusive Q&A. The issue was I didn't have many Patreons, so there weren't many questions. You could do a live stream once a month or something. You could have coaching. I think I offered that on mine. So you could offer 20 minutes of coaching, or I don't know, whatever you feel you could put on there that doesn't feel like too much on you, because that's why I stopped. It felt too much. And it depends how you feel about interacting with people. Do you feel, you know, how kind of, do you want to have like a one-on-one like phone call, video call? Obviously protect your own phone number, and I mean, I'm sure that goes without saying, but if you're offering some kind of coaching type thing, how comfortable are you with that being with a stranger, and how much are you protecting yourself and protecting your time? Think about all of those things. I had lovely Patreons. I just found it a bit overwhelming and I stopped, but I might go back to it. I think it works really nicely where, for instance, I could have one associated to this channel where you get exclusive videos, maybe you get an exclusive live or a Q&A, you know, that kind of thing. It can work really, really well in lots of different ways, and some people do it really successfully. I wasn't massively successful, so I don't want to offer too many tips, but you could do it if you would like to, and it's a really lucrative source of income for lots of people, so definitely worth a go. My next one related to that is coaching or consulting. So if you're an expert, or you feel you're an expert in a particular area, it might be within writing, publishing, or the subject of your book. So you could bring your book out, let's say it's about, I don't know, metal detecting, I don't know, and you then have your book, and alongside that you are a coach in metal detecting. So you could have your coaching also available on your website or via relevant agencies, or you could offer it via something like Patreon so people can access, whether that's like a pre-made video or something, or a one-on-one or a group thing. Maybe it's an in-person thing, so you offer it locally. You could advertise it in local Facebook groups, you could make leaflets, you could have paid ads. It depends what you want to do, but you could offer yourself for coaching or for consultancy to businesses and things. So for instance, maybe I could, as well as doing my freelance social media, I could do social media consultancy where I go into a company, I look at their social media, I critique what they're doing, and I offer tips on how they could do it better. I don't do this. I actually have qualifications in coaching, but anyway, yeah, if that's something that you would like to do, it's another possibility. And I have just one more. I think I have done all of them. I believe I've worked through my list. Right, my last one is low content books. So yes, I know this is still publishing, and I said we wouldn't be talking about selling your books. This is a little bit like merch. So it's things that go alongside your actual book, but require low effort from your part. So, well, actually saying that, sometimes it can take a lot of work. But for instance, a workbook. So maybe like my self-publishing book, I could have a workbook that goes alongside it where it's related to each chapter, and there are questions and activities to help somebody work through the whole process. So you could do something like that. Maybe I should. I haven't, but maybe I will. Or maybe something like a diary or a notebook, or could it have like spaces for people to write creatively? You know, the kind of books I mean, where it's like lots of questions and people answer it and it's really mindful, or any kind of thing, basically, ideally as low, I don't mean low effort, I don't mean as in you just go, I don't care, and chuck it out there, but just not as time intensive as creating an actual book. But something that goes alongside it, they sell each other, and there is another opportunity to have a product in your repertoire, in your business. So those are all of the ways that I could think of making money as an author, other than actually selling your book or books. If you've got any links to maybe places where people could, you know, list for their freelance work, or maybe great affiliate things that people can sign up to, or agencies, or any of that stuff that might be useful for any of the kind of work that I have talked about in this video, please do share them below. If it's a website or an opportunity that I haven't thought about, please do link it below. I think it's really, really helpful when we all share with each other. So yeah, please do leave those below. I really hope that was helpful. I hope it gives you some new ways of making money, and I wish you all the success with it. Take care.